In a speech to the nation tonight, President Trump alleged China obtained millions of voter rolls and interfered in U.S. elections. Doug Williams is here now with more on those claims. Doug?
Christine, in the nearly 6 years since President Trump's election loss to Joe Biden in 2020, his fixation on the result has not wavered. Not after more than 60 lawsuits alleging various forms of election fraud were proven unsuccessful in court. Not after he mounted a successful political comeback and reclaimed the Oval Office 4 years later in 2024. And his address tonight presented some new allegations tied closely, though, to that familiar theme.
This vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you, the American people.
In a presidential address Thursday night, President Trump detailed what he says is newly declassified evidence of meddling by the Chinese government in American elections.
Over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history.
The president then announced a second set of documents that he says shows a cover-up from within the U.S. intelligence community.
Members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, in many cases, in our intelligence agency work to actively suppress and downplay information.
President Trump alleges that the Chinese government acquired roughly 220 million U.S. voter files, then alleging a coordinated effort between the Chinese and the U.S. intelligence community during his first term as president, seemingly to ensure he wasn't reelected in 2020. There were no direct allegations, and there remains no substantiated proof that any votes were impacted. Virginia Democratic Senator Mark Warner sits on the Intelligence Committee and was asked if he learned anything in Trump's remarks.
No. This is not some great breakthrough.
I would want to see their work products, see more information.
Election expert Stephen Risher, like us, is eager to see and learn more, but says any further unsubstantiated allegations against the American election system could be damaging.
I liken any allegation about unlawful voting to how a prosecutor would handle a case, which is you don't start talking about it publicly until you've secured a conviction. And in the past, the president and many of his supporters have jumped the gun.
And there is, of course, much to fact check. CBS News is busy doing that. But just broadly, to sum things up, President Trump said tonight that, quote, every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately. And later adds, unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short of that standard. CBS News fact checks that as just false. There's not enough evidence to say otherwise.
Okay, Doug Williams, thank you.